Hey guys, Ellie here. Today I am sitting here and I have the exact same question that I'm sure all you guys have been having for the last several months. When in the world is this darn old mama gonna have her babies? We've literally been waiting around what seems like forever. I don't know if y'all know this about me, but sometimes I can get pretty impatient when it comes to certain things. I'm sure a lot of you can be impatient whenever you're eager or excited about something as well. But this old mama, man, at first it went from when we first got them, Pawpaw said that she was probably closer to giving birth than Carrie was. I remember she and old Carrie over there. Where's Walter at for that matter? Sometimes Carrie walks off and leaves Walter on his own. I'll go find him in a second. I'm sure he's in the barn. He's safe. She leaves him only somewhere that's safe, so don't worry or anything. But at first, they both came over here pregnant, and Pawpaw was so sure that old mama was going to give birth first because she looked to be farther along. And I don't blame him, because from what it looked like, she really did look like she was much closer to popping than Carrie was. And so we waited a few weeks and nothing really happened, and so we're thinking, okay, maybe they're not as far along as we thought they were. And then at some point Carrie had her babies, and we were like, wow, that's a surprise. But you know what, if Carrie had them, then old mama must not be far behind. And we waited and we've waited, nothing's happened. We even thought that possibly it could be a sign that if whenever Honeydew passed, maybe old mama would give birth that same day to kind of like fill a void, or to, you know, replace emptiness possibly. But that didn't quite happen. And there's been many times that there's been like a bad rainstorm, and we were thinking, oh, this is it, weather change induces birth a lot, she's gonna finally pop today or tomorrow. Nope, nothing's happened. Still same old mama, just patiently waiting. Ay. And I can't give y'all an answer for how long we'll be waiting, because I have no earthly idea how long it'll be. Oh, Ritzy dog. Ritzy, isn't that so crazy? Aren't you so surprised too that old mama hadn't had her babies yet? I know, we're all so surprised. All so surprised. So surprised. No, but what an interesting topic that is. Patience, or waiting. I'm sure all of us can relate to having had to wait for something at one point or another. Sorry, this is very off topic, but this is kind of funny. So, as most of y'all probably know by now, Charlie and Echo, they got moved to Longhorn Lester's. And I haven't really talked about exactly why that happened, but just kind of a long story short, there were a lot of things that they were doing that just were not very farm dog like. It was not good farm dog behavior. Y'all already know the whole incident about how they kept getting under the house and kept messing up their skin, so we had to get new skirting. That definitely wasn't cheap to keep them from going under the house. And then just when it seemed like they were doing so good with the other animals, they kind of started getting a little bit hyper and excited around them, and it was a little too excited for comfort, because we tried to train them really hard not to mess with cats and not mess with chickens and any of those things, but they just they started getting rowdy. It's almost like they regressed and they had like more setbacks than they were going forward. And for a time we tried to keep they were good whenever we were around, when me and Megan were outside with them, but then I guess they would just get excited when we weren't there and they would forget. I would look at them from outside, or from in the car. I would kind of see them as I would pull up, or if I was in the house, I would look out the window and kind of see them getting a little too hyper. And we have so many animals that it's our responsibility to care for beyond just them, and so those were not good things. We started by letting them be free when we were out there, because they would be good when we were obviously there. But then whenever we weren't out there, we would put them either in the yard or in this garage right here. And y'all know the whole story about how they would climb over the fence and get out. So we tried to do this right here. This whole project, y'all seen a video about that. They still climbed over and were getting out. And then at some point we would leave them in the garage like overnight and stuff, just to make sure everything was okay. And then they started digging holes like this one right here. And so that basketball just kind of reminded me of something funny. The hole wasn't this big at first, but I saw that the hole was about the size of that basketball, and it was very late in the middle of the night, and I was exhausted when I found this. So I was just thinking, gosh, I gotta find something really quick just to temporarily plug this hole up. I'll deal with it in the morning. And so I found that basketball, and I was like, you know what, this is like the perfect size to fit the hole. So I plugged the hole with a dang basketball. As you can see, it didn't work, so I just dug around it. And you know, once they were like digging and stuff, then we kind of figured that, you know, we've tried everything that we can. At some point, you just gotta know when enough is enough, when something is not meant to be, at least not for right now. And so we kind of talked it out with my dad and stuff, and he agreed that it was a good idea to let them go to Longhorn Lester's. Either they'll go over there and they'll love it, and it'll be better, them not having to be confined, not having to be on guard about them with other animals and whatnot, because they're obviously not going to hurt dogs, of course. And then either they'll love it over there, or they'll be sad. And if they're sad, then we can bring them back and we can keep trying. But we knew there was a 99.9% chance that they're not going to be sad. Come on, there's more space over there. There's Trixie, Buddy, Millie and Fiona, Stella, Christmas. They got a new one, evidently. They got so many dogs over there. I knew they weren't going to be sad, and sure enough, they seem to be thriving over there, and I'm really, really happy for them. It's kind of bittersweet because, of course, we miss them, but I'm glad that they're happy over there at Longhorn Lester's. It's a much better fit. There's old Walter, since I was wondering. He's doing good. Hey, Tilly. Oh, Tilly. No, but back to what I was talking about. Patience. What an interesting topic that is. Oh, how hard it is to wait sometimes whenever you're so excited and so eager for something. There's been many times in my life where I've patiently waited for something. I could just feel it within reach, just a fingertip away, but I still had to be patient for just a little bit longer. I want y'all to tell me in the comment section below. Name a time. Tell me about a time where you were tested, your might and your will was put to the test more than it ever had been before, when you had to exude great patience, and as hard as it must have been, you had no choice but to just keep on waiting, to keep holding on a little bit longer until you got the result that was needed. Y'all tell me about experiences like that in the comment section. I'm curious about what kind of experiences you guys have had with waiting, because I think we're all in a state of great waiting and patience right now with old mama. Just no idea when we're gonna have those babies, you know what I mean? Alrighty guys, well, with that said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Y'all be sure to let me know in the comments what kind of stuff you guys want to see. Hope you all have an incredibly blessed day, and as I always say, your boy Ellie out.